Vijay, what is Tantra for you?
Namaste. Tantra is the most ancient scientific spiritual knowledge system which started with a very interesting technique which is called self-inquiry, inquiry of the self. And it was so interesting that we're using a very simple method where one can sit with closed eyes, bringing the attention at the third eye and entering into a witness state. You can go deep inside and find out the answers to all eternal questions which have been bothering humankind for ages. Who we are, how we manifest, from where we manifest, how long we are allowed to have experience, what are the softwares of physical dimension, what is the software of divine dimension, what is the software of cosmic dimension. So this knowledge system was the first scientific spiritual knowledge system which was shared by a great tantric and scientist, Shiva. He shared a beautiful knowledge system using this self-inquiry technique, and the purpose of this self-inquiry was asto ma sadgamaya tamso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma amritam gamaya. What it means? Lead me from ignorance to truth, from darkness to light, and from death to immortality. So these were the three main goals or desires of Shiva, and he brought such a beautiful knowledge system which nowadays we practice through a knowledge system called Kundalini Tantra Yoga. This is the most ancient knowledge system shared by Shiva, which was based on two knowledge systems: element science, element is Tattva, Tattva Gyan, and Swar Yoga, the prana science, the subtle flow of prana in 72,000 energy channels, subtle energy channels. So using these two knowledge systems, Shiva could bring the light and answer to all the eternal questions. And in modern terms, if you want to understand Tantra, you can divide the Tantra in two parts, Tan and Tra. Tan means expansion of energy, expansion of consciousness, and Tra means liberation, which practically means that there is a set of techniques. Using them you can experience the higher dimensions, divine and cosmic dimensions, in the physical body. So you don't need to leave the body to experience what you were in unmanifested state in cosmic dimension. So I would advise everyone that this knowledge system, although ancient, but it is so much relevant for the modern day problems that it can bring light and answer to all the questions what we are facing these days.
Okay, so another question. Tantra is not a religion, but it has a very long tradition in India, more than 2,000-3,000 years. It's not so exactly. So what is the difference to a religion, if you can explain what is the main difference between a religion and what the tantric path is?
If you see the historical route when the Tantra knowledge was being developed, it was a very interesting period when the tribal culture was transforming into matriarch culture and patriarch culture. And Shiva was the head of a tribe, And he was trying to help his tribe with all the important eternal questions which I mentioned: who we are, how we manifest, how we can control our experience, what will happen when we will go back. So this was the knowledge system which was not religious at all, because it started with the first scientific spiritual methodology which is called self-inquiry, inquiry of the self. Who I am I body, am I mind, or I am something more? And it was very interesting that in the process of this self-inquiry, Shiva found that the body and the mind software is a doing software. Like, it's all the time active. It's not in a non-doing state. And the original software, the soul, which is eternal, neither being born or not dying, is a non-doing software. And it was very interesting discovery that during the journey, when we are experiencing the physical dimension, we are not doing it through the non-doing software. Actually, the shadow of the soul, the prana energy, the creative intelligence, is the one which is participating in the experience. And when this creative intelligence, prana energy, separates from the soul, it gets into 16 gross forms. The first 5 forms are 5 elements, 5 senses, then body, mind, food, scriptures. So there are 16 gross forms with which our experience is related. And Tantra gives us, empowers us with the practices by which we can easily go back in the journey. Like, we can dissolve these 16 gross forms by slowing down of our breath from the breath cycle of 15 per minute. There's a very beautiful tantric practice which takes 10 to 20 minutes, and in those 10 to 20 minutes you can bring your breathing cycle from 15 to less than 5 and up to 1. And using such simple and powerful tantric practices, you can decondition the body and mind software, and you can bring them very close to the non-doing state of the original software of the soul. So Tantra is magical, that it gives you all the necessary experiences within the physical body, liberating yourself to the need of again coming back.
I mean, that was the main word, liberate. So religions are mostly set limits to the people. So, and Tantra is saying, yeah, everything is possible because it's nature. So there's no regulation. Is that true?
Yes, actually, if you see the historical setting, at that time when the Tantra knowledge was being developed in the matriarch culture, there were still no organized religions. Like, shamanic culture was there in the tribal society, and some more advanced cultures were introduced. And the whole tantric knowledge at its core is matriarch in nature. It says that the feminine software is the master cosmic dimension software. The Kundalini energy is nothing but it is the cosmic energy potential which is infinite in time, space, total stillness, total silence. So this is the main thing, that organized religion came very late in this journey. Like, when the patriarch culture got established and matriarch was avoided, then only the organized religion came and started slowing down the tantric research work. Although tantric research was very well preserved historically in the 108 Upanishad. So there were like a lot of scientists who were interested in doing research work on Shiva knowledge of Tattva Gyan and Svar Yoga. and they were working like a specialist on different topics. And they set up the forest academies, and all the distilled knowledge of tantric knowledge, which was initiated and started by Shiva, was perfected by these different scientists. Like if you want to understand the prana science, the Parshana Upanishad is just all about prana science. It takes care and explains in detail everything what you need to know about the prana energy.
Let's talk about yoga. So I'm with you now for nearly 2 weeks in a teacher training, very intensive, and I understood more about what is all belonging to the whole tantric philosophy. So what I learned was yoga is was created for the physical body. So yoga is in the Western world very common. So lots of people practicing yoga, but as I understood, yoga is the basement for the tantric path. So if people do the yoga, why do they not go the next step in the tantric way?
I'm very happy that you decided to join our teacher training course, which is a very deep knowledge system and very practical knowledge system. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that this knowledge system has 3 key words in it: Kundalini Tantra Yoga. Actually, if you see the logic of having these 3 knowledge systems, these 3 knowledge systems are making you an expert in 3 dimensions. The Kundalini energy knowledge is making you an expert in cosmic dimension, the cosmic software. The Tantra knowledge is making you in control of the divine dimension, the divine software, the third eye. And actually the limitation was with the physical body, because every living species has a specific breathing cycle, and based on that breathing cycle, the number of years are gifted for your experience. So the human body had a 15 breath per minute cycle, which allows you to get experience in the body 120 years. So there is a limited time for experience, and Tantra scientists wanted to extend this experience, and in order to extend the lifespan, they worked on 2 knowledge systems, the yoga and the Ayurveda. Actually, Ayurveda was the first ancient medical healing system which was brought to answer all the questions related to health and well-being. And if you pay attention to our human body, the navel point in Ayurveda is called biological clock, and there are 72,000 subtle energy channels, nadis, starting from there, from where the subtle prana is flowing throughout the body. So if the subtle prana flows freely in these channels, you will never have any sickness, you will not get the biological death. So the aim of Tantra scientists was to develop a practical system which can keep these channels without blockages, and so that the subtle prana flows freely throughout the body. And yoga was that system that they created a knowledge system, and specifically it is wonderful that the first pose, yoga pose in world history, also has a direct relationship with Shiva, the Nataraj pose, the Shiva dance, where he is holding this Shiva pose for half an hour and entering into the cosmic dimension state. So he's generating so much cosmic prana that after that he can connect to the cosmic dimension. And not only that, this pose has a direct relation with Shiva. That's why he's called Adi Yogi or first yogi, the Tantra master. But also other people who were working with Shiva, like Shiva has a army general whose name is Veerbhadra, and everybody knows who is practicing yoga that the warrior pose, the warrior 1, 2 and 3 are coming from this great warrior who perfected the art of warriorship and gifted us with the 3 poses: warrior 1, warrior 2 and warrior 3. So it's very interesting that a lot of people forgot that they were told that yoga started with Patanjali. Of course, Patanjali did a very good research work on yoga and he wrote a beautiful Patanjali Sutras, but people are not aware of the core knowledge system which is there in 112 Shiva Sutras. It is the most ancient knowledge and which is coming from the same 2 knowledge system of element science, Tattva Gyan, and Swar Yoga, the prana subtle flow in nadis. So this is very interesting that this knowledge system is practical. It was developed to empower you to have the desired experience. So you are born as creative intelligence to experience and explore the infinite potential gifted by Mother Nature. So yoga and Ayurveda were 2 knowledge systems which were perfected for this goal. And yoga, of course, is the foundation in that sense that if your physical body is in good shape, if your physical body software is in harmony, it's more easy to bring the mind software also in more harmony. And when these 2 softwares are working together, like they are friendly with each other, then it's very easy to connect them with the master software, the soul software. So yoga, which was the only one type, which was called Hatha Yoga. So it's union of sun and moon energy, because this sun and moon energy are flowing in our body software in 2 nostrils. And if you harmonize the sun and moon energy, it creates a magic that it creates a new form of energy which is called Jupiter energy, the balance energy. The moment you harmonize the sun and moon energy in 2 nostrils through yoga, breathing and practices, the energy starts flowing in the Sushumna channel, which is the divine path or the spiritual path, and then energy moves from the root chakra to the crown. So in this upward movement of energy, you can get connected to your inner teacher or inner guru or Jupiter energy at the 3rd eye, which is the switch of the divine dimension. So all the Tantra knowledge is all about a subtle connection with your inner teacher, inner guide, inner light, which is at the 3rd eye, the divine switch, the divine body, the bliss body. And we have a beautiful Kriya in Kundalini Tantra Yoga system, which is called Sanjeevani Kriya. It is a set of practices. By doing these practices, you can transcend and perfect first the physical body, then enter into more subtle prana body, then mental layer, wisdom layer, and finally the bliss body. So the aim of Tantra knowledge and practices is to feel whatever you are doing blissfully. So become bliss, experience bliss in anything what you are doing, what you are creating. And once you are blissful, then you can easily overcome the limitations of the physical body, physical software, physical dimension. You can upgrade it. So you can learn this knowledge in a very organized way. We teach it in our teacher training courses in different formats. And right now we are in Goa in this beautiful sunshine, and we are offering 3-week intensive trainings until March month.
Okay, thank you.